and that may have been a small one for Neil, but that's a long one for me.
This is Apollo Control at 234 hours, 2 minutes. About 15 minutes ago, we got some indications that at least one of the crew was awake. We've seen data here indicating that they're operating the DSKY on their spacecraft computer. And our communications engineer reported just a few moments ago that the crew has configured their spacecraft communications for voice downlink, so we'll be standing by for a call from the spacecraft. The sleep period is not officially scheduled to end for about 11 more minutes. We also have a weather report from the prime recovery area in the mid-Pacific. The forecast at end of mission calls for scattered clouds at 1,800 feet. Waves of 4 feet with 5-foot swells, winds out of the east-southeast at 5 knots, visibility of about 10 miles. We also predict scattered showers in the recovery area. At the present time, we show the spacecraft some 62,500 nautical miles from the Earth, traveling at a speed of 7,330 feet per second. And we'll stand by now for any call from the crew. We don't expect Capcom Don Lind to be putting in a call to the crew for about 10 more minutes.
Oh, yes, Apollo 12.
Good morning, Apollo 12.
Good morning, good morning. We're just getting cleaned up and eating breakfast.
Very good. You ready for the big day?
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, we got a nice little section in the South Pacific reserved for you, and we've got most of the Navy standing by to pick you up.
Good. We cleared a certain area at all altitudes there.
That's affirmative.
Houston, Apollo 12.
I go 12.
Yesterday I gave him a tentative stowage arrangement, and I'd like to modify that just one little bit, and I would appreciate it if you'd let Retro know.
Roger.
Instead of storing Dick's suit under the left-hand couch, we have some garbage in a TSB, and we'd like to put that in the hatch bag. And it's all soft. And then we'd like to take Dick's suit and stow it under the right seat. That's the only change.
Roger, copy.
Thank you. Houston, Apollo 12.
Go ahead, 12.
Morning, Don. Say, Alan, I put on that new EKG harness. How about asking the doctors to look at it and see if it's okay?
Roger.
I moved the lower sternal up about 1 inch to keep it off the old spot, but I don't know if that makes any difference or not.
Roger, we'll have him check it for you. Apollo 12, Houston.
Go ahead.
The surgeon reports that he's getting a good signal from both of you, and you're both definitely still alive.
Good show. Houston, we stopped PTC for a moment to do some photography, and we'll get back in it again in about 10 minutes.
Very good. When do you plan to do P-23? Will you do that before
Say
you...
again.
Do you plan...
Say again, Houston.
Do you plan to do the P-23 while you're out of PTC before you re-enter?
We might as well. Let's see. doing it just a few minutes early, or we'll hold to 2:36. You want to do that?
Stand by. Okay, we're okay for early, and we have some attitudes for you when you're ready to copy.
Okay, I'll be back with you in a minute for the attitudes.
This is Apollo Control at 235 hours, 31 minutes. We've just had a report from the radiation support room that our solar particle alert network has detected a very small solar flare. We haven't gotten a description of the size of the flare, except that it was quite small. And at this time we have gotten no readings from instrumentation on the spacecraft to indicate the presence of any additional levels of radiation as a result of this flare. At the present time, the spacecraft is traveling at a speed of 7,825 feet per second. Stand by, here's a call from the spacecraft.
Roger, we'll get it for you momentarily, and in return, can you give us a sleep and PRD readout?
Roger, across the board, 8.5, 8.5, 11032, 11032, 04034.
Thank you. Okay, the RCS total at 233 hours is 25.5, Alpha is 26.3, Bravo is 26.6, Charlie is 23.0, Delta is 26.2, H2 total is 21.9%, O2 total is 27.7%.
Copied all that, thank you. Houston 12, ready to copy those angles.
Roger, the P23 optics calibration attitude, roll 8-9er, pitch 334, yaw 0. The optics calibration star is star 24. P23 sighting attitude, roll 8-7, pitch 329er, yaw 316. For the fourth star, substitute star 24, far horizon. Note, if unable to use a star, go to the next star in sequence. No alternate stars will be updated, and please report the type of difficulty with any stars omitted.
Okay, P23, Boresight, optics calibration 0893340, star 24, and P23 attitude 087329316. And for star 4, substitute star number 24. No alternate stars. Please report difficulty with any stars emitted.
That's affirmative, and with star 24 it's the far horizon.
Yeah, I got that. Very far horizon.
Apollo 12, Houston, one flight plan change for you when you want to copy.
Okay, go ahead.
At 238 hours and 30 minutes, the report of the command module RCS injector valve temperatures. Delay that report to 240 hours, and that will improve our chances of not having to do any heating.
Okay, I just looked at them right now, and over the night doing the PTC, they're all above 4 volts, some just barely. And so we will have gone back into PTC for a while after the thing, and I think I agree with you. I think we'll probably be in pretty good shape.
Roger, thanks, Pete.
But we haven't moved to 240.
This is Apollo Control at 235 hours 43 minutes. The flight surgeon reports that the personal radiation dosimeter readings passed down to the crew, or passed down by the crew, indicate no significant increase in radiation levels. The increase over the past 24 hours is about 30 millirads per crewman, and this is about what we have been running for a 24-hour period. At the present time, Apollo 12 is 55,277 nautical miles from the Earth, traveling at a speed of 7,896 feet per second.
Apollo 12, Houston. We'd like you to give us the high gain antenna if you would. We'd like you to turn the power on, give us wide beam width, react mode. The pitch angle is -7.9er, and yaw is 156.
Coming at you. There you go, it's all locked up.
Thank
You
you.
want to leave it in wide?
That's
You want to
affirmative.
leave it in wide? Okay. Here's the Apollo 12.
Go ahead, 12.
Hey, would you check with the boys in the background? Should I be having any trouble with Jupiter as far as seeing it or not? I can't see it. Do I have the right vector in?
Roger, we'll check.
This one surprises me. I wouldn't think I'd have trouble seeing Jupiter. Oh, Houston 12, it's okay. I got it now.
Very good. That gives us a lot of comfort to realize they're all still up there.
Why should that be comforting to you? Well, if you missed one, what would you care?
Well, we don't mind if we miss a star, but if all the planets aren't there, you know, the astrologers are really bent out of shape.
Well, being there and seeing is two different things.
Roger.
Here's the Apollo 12.
Go 12.
Don, star 75 is not visible.
Roger, no 75.
And I'm going to press on to star 24.
Roger.
Don, one of the problems I'm having with this one is that star is so dim that when I get it down to the air glow, it almost washes out to nothing, and I can't quite tell where it is. But I'll go ahead and mark on them anyway.
Roger.
Half the time I can't find him, I lose him. That's about the toughest star I've had to do so far.
Say again, Dick.
Okay, that one is about the toughest one I've had.
Now we're giving you your max test since this is your last chance.
Well, if I get any dimmer than that, I'm not going to be able to see them.
Roger.
Houston, on this particular star here, there's a big round, very dim orange ball that covers about 3/4 of the sextant, but I can see the star through it, even though it is pure orange itself.
Is that a sun reflection, or what's causing the orange ball, do you know?
I don't know. I would suspect it might be proximity to the sun, but I'm really not sure of that.
Roger.
I don't have the complete orange ball in the sextant, but I got the better half of it.
Roger, copy.
Look at our patch. You can see how much of the moon is in that patch, and that's a little bit more than that in here in the sun.
Roger, Dick. We suspect that scattered light, Dick.
I'm sure it is. Houston 12.
Go ahead.
Don, I can't use this star either. Once I start moving it, there's so much scattered light that I lose the star completely, and I can't keep track of it.
Roger, that's what the test is to show. Thanks.
Okay, I'll press on the next one.
Roger.
As a famous astronaut once said, press. Well, I think that's a good one to end on.
Very good.
I'll give you an optical again.
Okay. Dick, Houston, can you tell us how the horizon compares now with the second batch of translunar that you did when you had a good clear horizon?
The second batch, which second batch are you referring to, Don? On the way out or on the way back in?
Translunar on the way out.
Well, I think there's probably a little learning process as to what is the horizon you ought to be using. I think far too much is made of that air glow layer, and you can almost use what you think is the horizon, which also includes the air glow layer. It's really not that undefined. It's fairly definite and fairly easy to use. And I think the second set that I did going out was by far the better one, and I've been using that particular horizon for all of these all the way, on the way back in.
Roger, we copy. Thank you very much. Apollo 12, Houston, if you're interested, we've got football scores, the morning headlines, and the local weather for you if you want to work that in among your busy activities.
Don, go ahead. We'll listen right now.
Roger, the scores from yesterday in the NFL, Cleveland 28, New York 17. Detroit 16, Green Bay 10. Philadelphia 34, St. Louis 30. Washington 27 over Atlanta 20. Los Angeles 24 to Dallas 23. Baltimore over Chicago 24 to 21. Minnesota 52 over Pittsburgh's 14. New Orleans 43 to San Francisco 38. In the AFL, Oakland took Kansas City 27-24. Houston 32, Miami 7. New York 40, Cincinnati 7. Boston 35, Buffalo 21. And San Diego 45, Denver 24. In the news, Splashdown stories and yesterday's news conference are getting good coverage. Pete's boys Andy and Chris did a little soaring of their own yesterday. Scott Royce took the boys and Jane up for a ride yesterday. Andy said he'd rather be a soaring pilot than an astronaut. You can work that out with him later, Pete. And Chris's reaction was, "It feels good, but I still like to water ski the best." There's a provocative headline. Boston hospital maternity wards are feeling the impact of 2 severe February snowstorms, and I'll let you imagine how the story runs. The Houston weather is pretty bad. It's overcast and drizzling, not really a day the Chamber of Commerce would be proud of. However, in the landing area, we're reporting 1,800 scattered and a high scattered. Winds out of the east at 15 knots with 10-mile visibility. The waves are 3 feet. You've got 5-foot swells, and if you've remembered to pack your lavas, it should be a lovely day in the South Pacific.
Thank you, Don. Sounds real good, and we'll be happy to see the land of lavas.
Very good.
Houston 12.
Go ahead.
What do you want us to disable for PTC, C and D?
That's good. Yes.
Okay, fine. C and D are going off, and we'll stabilize.
Apollo 12, if you will set in on the high gain, pitch 40, yaw 270, we'll take over on the ground and switch your antennas for you.
Hello, Houston, Apollo 12.
Go ahead.
Don, I guess we ought to start thinking about getting these state vectors up to speed. We have the onboard ones for the CSM and the ground CSM state vectors in the left slots. Do you want us to put the ground vector in both slots now?
Just a second, Dick. We're talking.
Okay.
Dick, Houston, the vectors that you've got in there now are quite satisfactory for the present, but we're going to send you some much better ones in the flight plan. So we don't think there's any need to play with them now, and we'll send you up some better ones later.
Okay, I got a 239.30 at the time we were talking about. Okay, very good. I just particularly appreciate your phrase, much better. You could have said a little better, couldn't you?
Sorry about that. It's early in the morning down here.
Houston 12, we're ready to start PTC when you give us the word.
Roger. 12, give us a few more minutes to let the rate stamp out, please. Apollo 12, Houston, let's go ahead and roll it on the PTC.
Roger, we'll start PTC.
Roger, and I'm about to turn you over to the tender care of Paul White, so we'll see you when you get back to the LRL and have fun in the South Pacific.
Okay, Don, thank you much, and thank you for all your help.
Very good. We'll see you later. Bye.
This is Apollo Control at 236 hours, 56 minutes. No one here in Mission Control is able offhand to identify that brief bit of music we got from the spacecraft. Apollo 12, now 49,635 nautical miles from the Earth and traveling at a speed of 8,412 feet per second. In Mission Control at this time, we're completing a change of shift. Flight Director Pete Frank has taken over from Flight Director Glenn Lunny, and our capsule communicator is astronaut Paul Weitz.
Apollo 12.
Go 12.
Good morning, Paul. Listen, is anybody down there thinking about getting this eclipse as far as we're concerned when the sun goes behind the Earth? We've got just about, we've got some 16 millimeter black and white and some 70 millimeter black and white.
Okay, we'll check on it. We're getting the times on that now. We'll pass those up to you, and when we do, we'll give you the dope on the what they want to take into it. Hello, 12, Houston. On our last LOS, during your roll, we did not acquire high gain when we expected to. Will you verify if your high gain angles are pitch 40, yaw 270?
Okay, we had minus 40, plus 40 in pitch.
That's firm. Should be plus 40. Hello, 12, Houston. I've got a couple things for your operations checklist. Page Foxtrot 5-8.
stand by. Okay, say which page, John?
That's Fox 5-8.
Oh, okay, 5-8.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay, we pick up a checklist there with the EMS drift check, and we would like to know the results of that on the ground when it's complete. And now about the 9th line down, where it calls out to set Delta VC. We'd like you to set the Delta VC plus 100 feet a second, if you would, please.
Okay.
That's it, thank you.
This is Apollo Control Houston at 237 hours, 18 minutes now into the flight. Apollo 12 presently 47,865 nautical miles away from Earth, traveling at a speed now of 8,587 feet per second. Our entry clock in mission control shows that we're 7 hours, 3 minutes away from time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere. And in the control center, Flight Director Pete Frank, who will be on the console for re-entry and recovery, has gone around the room talking to all of the members of his flight control team as to status. Right now, we're looking very good. Paul Weitz is our new capsule communicator and has had some discussions with the crew since his arrival on the console. We're at 237 hours, 19 minutes into the flight, and this is Apollo Control Houston. This is Apollo Control Houston at 238 hours now into the flight of Apollo 12. We show Apollo 12 on its continuing trip back to Earth, now traveling at a speed of 8,956 feet per second, and distance of 44,422 nautical miles away from Earth. We'll stand by and continue to monitor, and this is Apollo Control Houston.
Hello, Houston, Apollo 12.
12, Houston, go ahead.
Hey, Roger, Paul. This little EMS test is in checklist for P41. I just ran it for 100 seconds. I set it at 100 feet per second. Ran for 100 seconds, and now the EMS reads 102.2. Over.
Alrighty, we'll massage that and see what it means down here, Dick. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, 12, Houston.
Go ahead.
Okay, Dick, we're looking right now at a mid-course 7 of about 2.5 feet a second. They want to get about another half hour tracking, after which they'll work up your maneuver pad for you then.
Okay, we're not in any big rush except to get home, and we'll wait any length of time you need for that mid-course.
Okie doke.
This is Apollo Control Houston at 238 hours, 15 minutes now into the flight of Apollo 12. You just heard Paul Weitz, our capsule communicator and mission control, pass along an advisory with regard to MCC-7 to Dick Gordon and Apollo 12. Presently, we're looking at a delta V of some 2.5 feet per second with a burn duration of about 5 seconds. These numbers will be updated. We will perhaps delay the passing of the maneuver pad for mid-course correction 7 some 20 to 30 minutes to allow for additional processing of data on the part of our flight dynamics officer and retro officers here in Mission Control. We presently show Apollo 12 at an altitude of 43,093 nautical miles above Earth. Its velocity continuing to accelerate upping its pace somewhat now at 9,113 feet per second. We're 6 hours, 6 minutes away from time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere. This is Apollo Control Houston at 238 hours, 16 minutes, now into the flight of Apollo 12. This is Apollo Control Houston at 238 hours, 35 minutes, now into the flight of Apollo 12. Our digital displays in Mission Control Center now show Apollo 12 41,356 nautical miles out from Earth and traveling at a speed of 9,320 feet per second. Meanwhile, our entry clock is up and our ignition clock for mid-course correction number 7. We show MCC 7 occurring 2 hours and 45 minutes from this time, and entry at 5 hours and 46 minutes from this time. We'll stand by and continue to monitor, and this is Apollo Control Houston. This is Apollo Control Houston at 238 hours, 45 minutes, now into the flight of Apollo 12. The Apollo 12 spacecraft presently 40,545 nautical miles out from Earth and traveling at a speed of 9,424 feet per second. The Flight Dynamics Officer in Mission Control Center has just advised Flight Director Pete Frank that he has gathered data on the latest vector taken on Apollo 12 and will start computing the maneuver pad for MCC 7, mid-course correction 7, which will be passed to the crew. The present vector prior to MCC 7 shows an entry angle of minus 6.22 degrees. We're 2 hours and 35 minutes away from forecast time of ignition for mid-course correction number 7, and 5 hours 37 minutes away from forecast time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere. This is Apollo Control Houston.
Hello, Apollo 12 Houston. I have some information for you on the solar corona photos.
Okay, stand by a second. Go ahead, Paul.
Okay, they just want you to take photos coming out of the shadow, and they're requesting that you use the Hasselblad with, as you indicated, the black and white film. Use the 80 millimeter lens, an f-stop of 2.8, focused at infinity. They want you to take as many photos as you can, starting at a GET of 2:41:55:20. Now this is approximately 2 minutes before your sunrise. To start off with, use a shutter speed of 1 second. As you come out of the shadow, as soon as you can see a hairline sun, change your shutter speed to 1/125th. And stand by 1. I'll have your final setting in a minute. Okay, 12. And as I said, as soon as you can see any sign of the sun at all, change your shutter speed to 1/125th. Take photos at that setting for 5 to 10 seconds. After which, as the sun comes up, then change to F-16 at 1/500th of a second. And you can just take a bunch of photos at that. And for information, the sunrise time is 2:41:57:18. Over.
Roger, understand. We'll start about GET of 241:55:20 with black and white, 80mm lens, and we'll have it set at 2.8 infinity, 1 second. And the first time we see a sliver of the sun, we'll switch it to 1/125th, and work on that for about 15 seconds. Then we'll shift over to F11 1/500 and take some more.
Okay, Al, change over after the sun, after you see the first sign of the sun, go about 10 seconds instead of 15. And after the sun starts coming up, your final f-stop is 16. That's F-16 at a 500.
Understand, F-16 and 10 seconds at the earlier setting of F2.8 and 1/125th.
That's affirmative, Al. Also in your flight plan, we call for a comm check at 239 hours. We're not going to run that comm check. We would, however, like you to go ahead and fire up your VHF, and we'll hold off until we get indications of a good signal strength on the ground, at which time we'll then run a VHF comm check.
Sounds good. I just turned it on right now.
Okay, thank you.
Also, Houston, when you give us an attitude for this solar pictures, how about giving it to us so it's good out window 5? That's our best window.
Roger, 12. 12, Houston, with your photography attitude.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's roll 300, pitch 310, yaw 0. And that should give it to you out window 5.
Roger, roll 300, pitch 310, yaw 0, 1 to 5.
Roger.
This is Apollo Control Houston at 238 hours, 59 minutes, now to the flight of Apollo 12. We presently show Apollo 12 at 39,258 nautical miles away from Earth, traveling at a velocity of 9,588 feet per second. Paul White's was passing along camera settings to Al being aboard Apollo 12 for the purpose of acquiring photography of the sun as it rises out above the Earth. There will be a period in the flight plan leading up to that where the Apollo 12 spacecraft will be passing through a period of total darkness. We're at 239 hours into the flight and continuing to monitor. This is Apollo Control Houston.
Houston 12.
Go ahead, 12.
Let me give you our final storage configuration. We swap back again. We've got everything the way we told you. Dick, we've got one suit under the left-hand couch, and it has a helmet on. And the other two helmets are on top of the surveyor bag, tied down right in front of A4 and A5. Everything else is the way we gave it to you.
Okay, thank you, Pete.
Houston 12.
Go ahead, 12.
Do you really want us to run the CMC Self-Check?
Stand by. Hello, 12 Houston. We see no requirement for that self-check.
Okay.
This is Apollo Control Houston at 239 hours, 20 minutes now to the flight of Apollo 12. Apollo 12's present distance from the Earth, 37,360 nautical miles. Its present velocity, 9,851 feet per second. Continuing to monitor, this is Apollo Control Houston.
Apollo 12 Houston, we have some words on your P-52.
Okay.
Okay, the attitude based on the PTC refs mat is roll 091.2. Pitch 161.7. Yaw 021.6. Stars, the stars are 35 Rossalog and Pete's old favorite 37 Nunki. We haven't passed up the burn attitude yet, but this will put you at the burn attitude, except you'll be 180 degrees out in roll.
Okay.
And your high gain angles are pitch minus 85, yaw 255.
Okay.
Apollo 12 Houston, I have a mid-course 7 pad for you when you're ready to copy.
Roger, go ahead.
Okay, it's mid-course 7, RCS, GNN. 249er85. NA, NA. 241, 21, 5738. Minus 00024. Plus all zeros. Plus 00001. 000 310 000. NA 00024 005 00024. Your sextant star is 102417 395. There's no Apollo star available for a boresight check. Your GDC stars are Sirius 15, Rigel 12. The angles 336, 262, 357. 4-jet ullage. That's a 4-quad bird. And just some comments to pass up to you. They're not related to the burn. Since the burn is so short, we'll make no correction for your EMS drift. It looks right now like you have 64 hours of battery time on the water. And we're going around the room now to see whether or not to give you a go for entry. Over.
Hey, you guys are all right. Stop the world. I want to get off.
This is Apollo Control Houston at 239 hours, 29 minutes now to the flight of Apollo 12. You just heard capsule communicator Paul White's.
Know when you're ready for readback on that pad.
Okay, we're ready.
Read the pad up. We're standing by now for readback.
Okay, we thought you were going to do something about that. Go.
No, we're still massaging it. Go ahead and read it back.
Okay. 24985 NA 24121 5738 minus 00024 plus all zips plus 00001 000310000 NA 00024 005 00024 102417 395 015 Rigel 12 336 262 357. It's a 4-jet burn.
That's affirmative, Al.
This is Apollo Control Houston. That was Paul White's getting a read back from Al Bean aboard the Yankee Clipper. And as you heard, we're looking for a ground elapsed time of ignition for mid-course correction burn number 7 at 241 hours, 21 minutes, 57.38 seconds. The delta velocity for that burn, 2.4 feet per second, and it will be 5 seconds in duration. We're at 239 hours, 31 minutes into the flight, and this is Apollo Control Houston.
Hello, 12 Houston. We're going to let you come back, so I have an entry pad for you.
Okay, guys, you guys are all right today. We'll be ready to copy in just a second. Go ahead.
Okay, entry to the MPL. 000 151 000 244 0518 267 minus 1581 minus 16517 061 36116 649er 11673 3619er 244 2218 0029er. The next 4 blocks are all NA down to DO 400 0211 0019er 0327 0804. The sextant star is 23 2947 290. The boresight star is Procyon 016 up 146 left 10 lift vector up. Use the EMS non-exit pattern. And some times for you here, GET of sunset 2403207. Sunrise 2415723. You'll cross the terminator at 2441404. And if you're interested, moonset is at 2442005. Over.
Okay, 000, 151, 000, 244, 0518, 267, minus 1581, minus 16517, 061, 36116, 649, 11673, 36198, 244, 2218, 0029, 400, 0211, 0019, 0327, 0804, 23, 2947, 290, Procyon 016, up 146, left 10, up, UCMS non-exit pattern, sunset 2403207, sunrise 2415723, will cross the terminator at 2441404, moonset 2442005.
That's all at Charlie, Al.
Roger.
This is Apollo Control Houston at 239 hours, 39 minutes, now into the flight of Apollo 12. Our displays in Mission Control presently show Apollo 12 at 35,609 nautical miles away from Earth, and traveling at a speed of 10,106 feet per second. Paul White's passed along the entry pad to Albene and Apollo 12, and we will discern some of those numbers for you that were included in that pad based on a mid-course correction 7 burn. We show a time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere, ground elapsed time of 244 hours, 22 minutes, 18 seconds. And from there, re-entry elapsed time, a re-entry elapsed time to 05G of 29 seconds, a re-entry elapsed time for begin blackout of 19 seconds, a re-entry elapsed time for end blackout of 3 minutes 27 seconds, a re-entry elapsed time for drogue chute deployment 8 minutes 4 seconds. Apollo 12 should be at a velocity of 36,116 feet per second at the time it reaches 400,000 feet above the Earth. We're 4 hours 42 minutes away from time of entry, and this is Apollo Control Houston.
Oh, Apollo 12 Houston, when you take those corona photos, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to turn the lights down in the cabin to try to minimize reflections off the window. Pete, over.
Okay, we'll do that. And the computer's yours anytime you want it, Houston.
Okay, thank you. Computer's yours, Dick.
Roger, thank you. Houston, Apollo 12.
Go ahead, 12.
The CMRCS injector temps are as follows: 5 Charlie, 4.3, 5 Delta, 4.4, 6 Alpha, 4.0, 6 Bravo, 4.5, 6 Charlie, 4.3, 6 Delta, 4.8.
Roger, copy, 12. Thank you. Okay, 12, no preheat on the injectors.
Okay. Houston 12, are you copying the Bisky?
Roger, we got him, 12.
Okay, we're going to torque at this time.
Roger.
This is Apollo Control Houston, 240 hours, 8 minutes now into the flight. You heard the call from Command Module Pilot Dick Gordon asking the ground if they were watching the display keyboard which was being watched here in Mission Control. It reflected that Apollo 12 was undergoing an alignment of its computer platform, this being done prior to the mid-course correction 7 burn. We now show Apollo 12 at an altitude of 32,696 nautical miles above Earth, and now traveling at a speed of 10,566 feet per second. This is Apollo Control, Houston.
Houston 12.
Go ahead, 12.
We're rolling left to the burn attitude. We're going to lose the high gain.
Stand by. Affirmative, 12. Give us Omni Delta, please.
Okay.
This is Apollo Control, Houston, at
12.
Go ahead, 12.
We're getting a spectacular view of the Eclipse. We're using the sun filter from the GNN optics looking through it, and it's unbelievable.
Good, I understand, Dick.
The reason it looks so much different is the limb of the Earth that's eclipsing it. It's not quite a straight line, but it's certainly a large, large disk right now. It's quite a bit different than when you see the moon eclipse the sun.
Right.
Anybody down there know what we could set this camera at to use the sun filter on it to take a couple shots of this eclipse right through it?
Stand by, we'll check.
They better hustle.
Okay.
we're at 240 hours, 35 minutes. You hear Dick Gordon and...
You cannot see the Earth at all when you just shield your hand from the sun and look out right next to it where the Earth should be. It's not there at all. When you put the smoke glass up, you can see where it's cutting the sun. Otherwise, it's completely invisible.
Roger, Al.
You hear Dick Gordon and Al Bean describing the eclipse they're seeing. Very shortly they will start their photography on this scene. We now show Apollo 12 at an altitude of 30,024 nautical miles away from Earth and traveling at a velocity of 11,039 feet per second. Apollo Control, Houston, at 240 hours, 37 minutes. Into the flight, we're 45 minutes now away from scheduled time of ignition for mid-course correction number 7. A small burn of 2.4 feet per second in velocity in delta V. MCC-7 will be retrograde in plane to steepen the entry angle somewhat. Pre-burn is showing an entry angle of minus 6.22 degrees. The control center would like to bring it up in the order of minus 6.5 degrees. Continuing to monitor at 240 hours, 38 minutes into the flight. This is Apollo Control, Houston.
Fantastic sight. What we see now is the sun is almost completely eclipsed now, and what it's done is illuminated the entire atmosphere all the way around the Earth, even though the sun is still on what looks like the western limb of the moon of the Earth to us.
Roger, understand, Al, and we're still working on getting procedures for taking some photographs of it.
It's too late. We're using those for sunrise. I think they'll be exactly the same.
Okay.
But the diameter of the Earth now looks, compared to the moon, I'd say about 15 times the diameter of the sun. But it's illuminating the whole atmosphere all the way around. It really looks pretty. You can't see the Earth. It's black, just like the space.
Raj, I understand you cannot make out the Earth at all.
No, you can't see any features on it. All you can see is this sort of purple-blue with some shades of violet completely around the Earth. It's illuminated.
Roger.
Apollo Control, Houston. Giving that vivid description was Lunar Module Pilot Al Bean describing the illumination around the entire atmosphere of the Earth, which at present is providing an eclipse over the sun. We're at 240 hours, 44 minutes into the flight. We now show Apollo 12 29,137 nautical miles away from Earth and traveling at a speed of 11,213 feet per second.
Looking at the atmosphere, it has blues and pinks in it, but instead of being banded, it's segmented, which is very peculiar. I don't understand why. It may be the difference between being over land masses and water or something.
Roger, Pete, understand. Is it kind of like you see in the desert in the evening sometimes when you get that blue and pink streaking in the sky?
Yeah, except, like I say, it's segmented for about, right from the sun around about a quarter of the Earth is pure blue, and then it becomes pink for about 20 degrees of arc, and then it turns back to blue again, and it's blue all the way around the bottom to where it turns pink again, and then it turns blue again.
That was Pete Conrad adding his description of the view. We're at 240 hours, 45 minutes now into the flight of Apollo 12.
It's a heck of a time to be without any 70mm color film, I'll tell you. We're going to try to get it on our 16mm camera.
Okay, Al, good show. We were just thinking the same thing.
Have you got a suggestion on the f-stop for the 16mm?
We're working on it.
It looks like this is going to have an illuminated atmosphere probably the whole time it's eclipsed. What it looks like now through the smoke glass is that the sun is completely set behind the Earth, and you probably know better than I do from some... We're using it at 1/60th at 1 frame a second, and using 1.4 f-stop and also a 2. And a 1. What it looks like is the sun is set, but it's so close to the limb of the moon on the backside there that bright light is being channeled through the atmosphere, and so if you look at it with a naked eye, you can't tell the sun is set yet. Through the smoke glass, you can see that it's no longer a disk there, but you just see a bright white line, the diameter of the sun.
Roger, Pete, understand. Al?
This is Apollo Control, Houston, at 240 hours, 54 minutes now into the flight of Apollo 12. We show...
Houston 12.
Go ahead, 12.
We're shooting these at 1/60th at 1.4. That's where we're going to stay unless you come up with a better suggestion.
Raj, we got that, Dick. 1/60th, 1.4 at 1 frame a second. They're working on it in the back room. And actually, according to our figures here, you should still be seeing a little piece of the sun. You don't enter the full umbra until a little after 2:41 GET.
You're absolutely correct. We still have a little bit of the sun through the horizon on the western limb.
Roger.
But right now, the Earth is completely, the atmosphere of the Earth is completely illuminated all the way around, 360. And right in the center, it's as black, it's as dark as the as space behind it itself. It's really spectacular.
Roger.
Hey, you got any more adjectives for spectacular? I'd like to use some if you have.
No, we'll put somebody to work on that, too.
We presently show Apollo 12 at 27,975 nautical miles out from Earth, traveling at a speed of 11,445 feet per second. We're 26.5 minutes away from scheduled time of ignition of mid-course correction number 7 burn. This is a small burn, 2.4 feet per second in delta V, done with the reaction control system. It's designed to steepen the entry angle.
These pictures through the optics, right?
Negative, Houston, to the hatch window.
Oh, okay. 12, Houston, which lens do you have on the deck?
I have an 18 millimeter.
Okay. Okay, 12, Houston, we've got some words for you. Set the lens to F2. Go to time on your mode select and give us a 1-second exposure, if you would. Hit the button, it opens the shutter, hit the button again, it closes it.
Understand, we'll work on it. Apollo 12. One thing just puzzling us a little bit, perhaps Fido can answer it. It looks to us like the sun is being eclipsed by the Earth's North Pole or South Pole. It's kind of hard to tell what, rather than its east or west limb. Have you got any additional dope there on that?
Okay, we'll find out and see which direction it's moving. Hello, 12, Houston. For the mode select in time to function properly on the camera, the shutter speed has to be set to 1/60th, even though that's not our actual shutter speed.
That's where we've got it. Thank you, though, Houston.
Roger.
This is Apollo Control Houston at 241 hours 10 minutes now to the flight of Apollo 12. We're presently 12 minutes away from ignition for mid-course correction number 7. This very small reaction control system burn, 2.4 feet per second in delta velocity. We now show Apollo 12 at 26,345 nautical miles away from Earth, and now traveling at a speed of 11,788 feet per second. Continuing to monitor, this is Apollo Control Houston.
That has got to be the most spectacular sight of the whole flight. We can see now that the sun's behind the Earth. We can see clouds sort of on the dark part of the Earth. And of course the Earth is still defined by this thin, narrow, or thin blue and red segmented band. It's a little bit thicker over at the limb where the sun just set than it is at the other one. But it is really a fantastic sight. The clouds appear sort of pinkish gray, and they're of course scattered all the way around the Earth. It'd be interesting to know exactly what part of the Earth we're looking at, or what our nadir is now, because that part doesn't appear to have any clouds, and these others appear to be sort of revolving around it.
Roger, Al, I understand that you can see clouds all the way around the Earth, including the dark portion of it, and your nadir right now is just about the Indian Ocean.
Well, the whole Earth is dark to us. We're looking at the night side, but we can see all the clouds. We haven't been able to distinguish land masses yet, but we might be able to in a minute when we get a little better at depth. And I think the air glow is illuminating the clouds down there.
Roger, Pete.
Apollo Control Houston, that was both Al Bean and Pete Conrad reiterating the spectacular view.
And I'll give you a time hack to ignition so you can check your DET. It'll be at 8 minutes, which is about 40 seconds away.
What happened your time hack?
Well, we're going to come up on 8 minutes. Yeah, I blew it. I'll give you one at 7:30.
Okay, I'd be worried for a minute.
Okay, we're discussing the important parts, such as which side of the world the sun set on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark, 7:30.
Okay, we're right with you. Say, Houston, it's very interesting. We can see lightning and the thunderstorms down there on the Earth. I don't know how many miles out we are, but all the cloud covers that has thunderstorms in it, we can see lightning. I can see it quite clearly flashing from wherever we are. Yeah, they look like sort of just like fireflies down there, blinking off and on.
Yes. Yeah, you're about 25,750 out.
Yeah, we're starting to look out for these synchronous satellites now. We've been looking up ahead.
Okay.
Sure hate to run into one up here.
Yeah, it could ruin your day.
Apollo Control, Houston. Synchronous satellites are at an altitude of approximately 22,000 nautical miles. We now show Apollo 12 at an altitude of 25,667 nautical miles from Earth, traveling at a speed of 11,941 feet per second.
Hello, 12, Houston. If those lightning flashes are fairly frequent, we'd like to see if we can capture some of them on film, which would be the mode you're presently in with the speed set to 1/60th at F2. Remain in the time on the mode select and leave the shutter open for 1 to 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, they're equally, they're that frequent. There's two areas down there that are quite active right now. Paul, you got any idea how to hold that camera still for 1 to 2 minutes?
No?
Okay. We'll give her a go after we get this burn off.
Okay.
3 minutes away now from our mid-course burn.
Hello, 12, Houston. On your question on where the sun went behind the Earth, we've decided that it did go behind the western limb of the Earth in the northern hemisphere and should reappear on the eastern limb still in the northern hemisphere.
Roger.
1 minute away now. 5 seconds away. Guidance and control confirms +X.
Okay, plus a tenth, minus nothing.
Roger, 12.
That was Al Bean reporting residuals on their mid-course correction 7 burn. Looks like a good burn. We'll stand by for numbers. We're at 241 hours at 23 minutes now to the flight of Apollo 12.
12, Houston. What did your EMS read after that burn, please?
I hate to tell you, it was, I said it was 102.4 to burn down to 100. At the end of the burn, it was 101.4 and moving fast. It was 102.7 at burn time after turning on the normal switch at the proper 30 seconds before the burn.
Roger, understand.
Apollo Control, Houston at 241 hours at 25 minutes. Flight dynamics confirms that our entry angle now reads minus 6.47 degrees based on the residuals that were read off from Apollo 12. We now show Apollo 12 at an altitude of 24,670 nautical miles from Earth, presently traveling at a speed of 12,174 feet per second.
Houston 12, we're better night adapted now, and by golly, we can see India, and we can see the Red Sea, and we can see the Indian Ocean quite clearly. It's amazing how well we can see, for that matter. We can see Burma and the clouds going around the coastline of Burma, and we can see Africa and the Gulf of Aqaba. Looks like the same photographs Dick and I took on 11.
Roger, Pete.
We can also distinguish the lights of large towns with our naked eye, just barely, and by using the binocular we can confirm that that's what we're seeing.
Roger, 12. That's very interesting. You may now hold the class record for seeing lights.
Apollo Control, Houston. We show Apollo 12 now 24,000.
A couple of rip-throughs thunderstorms down there that are really let go.
From what you can see, the geography there, can you tell where the thunderstorms are, Pete?
Okay, I'll give you a fix on this one that's really bright.
Apollo 12 now 24,200 nautical miles from Earth. That's...
Give you a fix and say that it's about 200-300 miles to the southwest of the tip of India. There seems to be a weather system out there, and it's got thunderstorms all the way along it.
Roger, 12.
It's Venus is just below the Earth. We can see Venus quite clearly. Well, we can see all kinds of stars, but Venus is just below the Earth. This is really a sight to behold, to see it at nighttime like this.
Roger.
That's Pete Conrad providing the running commentary from Apollo 12. We're now at 241 hours, 31 minutes into the flight.
Hello, 12 Houston. For your information, weather does not have any surface reports from that region, but the satellite picture does show quite extensive cloud coverage in the area you're reporting the lightning.
Okay, unfortunately we got our Earth map dashed away. I wish I had it out. I'm not sure that I'm giving you the absolute exact location. The other thing is it looks like just north of India, and I'd say all up through China and Russia, and if that's what we're looking at, the whole area up in there looks like it's completely covered with clouds.
Roger, understand, Pete.
Also, right in the center of the Earth now, we have some real bright light shining, staying on that Dick's looking at it with the binocular. It's really bright.
Roger, understand. Does it appear to be coming from your nadir point, which should be just off the eastern coast of India now?
Yeah, looks like it's coming just about out of the center of what we're looking at. I would say south of Burma and east of India.
Roger, that's just about your nadir.
Well, I can't imagine what that is.
We can't either. We're checking for possibilities.
It's a steady light, and it appears in size to be as big as any of the thunderstorm flash. Yes, it's as big as Venus at least.
Roger, understand.
It's hard to tell if it's exactly in the center of the Earth or not. It's pretty close to being right in the center. Maybe just a little bit to our right, whatever that means. Just a little bit to the side that the sun did not go behind the Earth on.
Roger, I think we understand that.
And looking at the air glow with the binocular is boy, there's another sight now that's not like being in Earth orbit whatsoever. It's a bright red next to the Earth, and then it's got a green band in it, and then it's got a blue band.
You say these color bands encircle the Earth now, Pete?
Yeah, but it's not the same all the way around. What I'm seeing is sunrise, really. The sun this is about 40 degrees from the sun, and there's a bright red band, and then sort of a light green band that's very thin, and then a blue one, which must be all of the atmosphere.
Roger.
Apollo Control Houston at 241 hours 37 minutes into the flight. Apollo 12 now at a distance of 23,358 nautical miles from Earth. We're at 2 hours and 45 minutes from time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Apollo 12 now traveling at a speed of 12,507 feet per second. Standing by and continuing to monitor. This is Apollo Control Houston.
12 Houston, can you still see that bright light about in the center?
Al, we rolled, so Al could take the sunrise pictures, and the sun's pretty well wiped out that view that we had now. The sun started up, and the Earth has turned black again.
Roger, understand.
Houston. Paul, does it look like we're going to have an update to our entry pad or not after that burn?
Stand by, I'll check on it, Dick. 12 Houston, they want to get a little more tracking on you. It looks good. Some of the times may change a second or two, but as soon as I get a good track, we'll send it on up.
Okay, not pushing, just curious.
Roger.
Apollo Control Houston, that was Capcom Paul White's advising Dick Gordon, command module pilot, that we want a little more tracking data before further refining the ground elapsed times numbers at entry. We're at 241 hours 45 minutes into the flight. We show Apollo 12 at 22,412 nautical miles in altitude, and coming in now at a speed of 12,758 feet per second. This is Apollo Control Houston.
Hello, 12 Houston. If it's not already there, will you select the left VHF antenna, please?
Roger, left VHF antenna.
Okay, and also the ground readout of suit pressure dropped to 0 a few minutes ago. Will you give us your onboard readout?
Oh, it sure did. It reads 0 also.
Okay, we just wanted to confirm it. Thank you.
Houston, Apollo 12. I sort of think that time you gave me to start shooting of 241:55:20 is the time that the sun will be completely over the limb of the Earth. And it'd be too late then. I've been shooting per your instructions for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Can you confirm that?
I'll check on it, Al. I understand, Al, you can see the sun now. Is that right?
That's affirmative. I've been watching it for about the last 4 or 5 minutes. I didn't put a clock on it. And I started that sequence you gave me when the sun started to peek around. I expect at the time I got that came out of the computer was the time when it's going to be fully out.
Okay, Al. Good show.
This is Apollo Control Houston at 242 hours, 4 minutes, now to the flight of Apollo 12. Apollo 12's distance from Earth, presently 20,202 nautical miles, traveling now at a velocity of 13,400 feet per second. At entry, we expect that velocity to reach 36,116 feet per second. In the control center, we're presently counting down both to entry into the Earth's atmosphere and landing. Time from entry, presently reading 2 hours, 17 minutes, 40 seconds. From landing, 2 hours, 31 minutes, 26 seconds. Continuing to monitor, this is Apollo Control Houston.
Apollo 12, Houston, I have your landing area information if you're interested.
Go ahead.
Okay, the forecast hasn't changed since this morning, Pete. It's still calling for good weather. 1,800 foot scattered variable broken, 10 miles. The wind is out of the east at 15. We've got 3-foot waves on top of 5-foot swells, and they're running about 40 degrees apart. The altimeter is 2988, which gives a delta H of plus 38 feet. Your landing time now looks like 2058 Zulu. Sunrise was at 1612 Zulu, that is, and sunset will be at 0424. There are some widely scattered showers in the area, less than 10%. Okay, on the recovery forces, the Hornet's on station. They'll have 3 helos airborne, or 4 of them. Swim 1 and 2, with swimmers on board. Recovery 1, with a swimmer and a medic, and photo 1. We've also got 2 E1s that'll be airborne. That's Air Boss and Relay 1. We've got 2 C-130s. Be 40 minutes getting to on station. They've got pararescue on board. Their calls are Samoa Rescue 1 and 2. Over.
Houston 12, we copied all that.
Right.
Apollo Control Houston, that was capsule communicator Paul White's giving Apollo 12 a status report on the primary landing area. We now show Apollo 12 continuing to accelerate in toward the Earth, traveling at a speed of 13,897 feet per second. Its present altitude above the Earth, 18,625 nautical miles. This is Apollo Control Houston.
Hello, 12 Houston. Give us Omni Alpha, please. Houston, Omni Alpha, please. Hello, Apollo 12 Houston, requesting Omni Alpha.
Apollo Control Houston, we're 2 hours now away from time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Apollo 12 presently returning to Earth at a speed of 14,162 feet per second. Its altitude from Earth, 17,867 nautical miles. We're at 242 hours, 23 minutes now into the flight of Apollo 12. This is Apollo Control Houston.
Hello, Houston, Apollo 12.
Go ahead, 12.
Roger, we'd like to go through the logic sequence.
Stand by. Okay, 12, we were waiting for high bit rate. We have it now, so go ahead.
Okay. We'll give you a holler as we get to them.
Roger.
Okay, we're down to ELS Auto, Houston, and we're ready for the 6 Logic 2 on up. 6-1, Logic, mark. 6-2, Logic, mark.
12, Houston, your go for Pyro arm.
Roger.
Hello, Apollo 12, Houston, over. Apollo 12, Houston. Apollo 12, Houston, over. Apollo 12, Houston.
It's Apollo Control, Houston, 242 hours, 42 minutes now into the flight of Apollo 12. Capsule communicator Paul Weitz has placed several calls to Apollo 12. He plans to ask the crew to change antennas. We're receiving a low signal strength in the spacecraft's present attitude. We show a velocity at present of 15,195 feet per second, and Apollo 12 is now at a distance of Apollo 12 presently at an altitude or distance above Earth of 15,224 nautical miles. Continuing to monitor, this is Apollo Control, Houston.
Hello, Apollo 12, Houston, negative downlink. Request you tune for max, over. Hello, Apollo 12, Houston, in the blind. Negative downlink. Try to raise us on any antenna you can, including VHF, over. Hello, Apollo 12, Houston, over.
Apollo Control, Houston, that's capsule communicator Paul Weitz continuing to call in the blind. We now show Apollo 12 at an altitude of 14,546 nautical miles away from Earth, and traveling now at a speed of 15,536 feet per second. We'll continue to monitor, and this is Apollo Control, Houston.
Hello, Apollo 12, Houston, over. Hello, 12, Houston, over.
Go ahead, Houston.
Oh, okay, we haven't been able to get a hold of you guys for a little bit. Where you been?
Right here, sitting on the checklist, Omni Charlie, like it said, which apparently wasn't the right one.
Yeah, we tried to get an Omni Alpha call to you, but didn't get it in time, I guess.
Okay. What do you need?
I'll find out if they want anything different.
Okay.
12, Houston, we lost everything, including down data during that 10 or 15 minutes. Have you performed your sextant star check?
That's affirmative. And we're just getting ready to align again, and we'll perform it right after we align.
Okay, thank you.
And the foresight star checks out.
How about that?
This is Apollo Control, Houston, 242 hours, 58 minutes now into the flight. That was Lunar Module Pilot Al Bean advising Paul Weitz in Mission Control Center that they would very shortly be aligning their computer platform. We now show Apollo 12 at a distance of 13,117 nautical miles from Earth, and its velocity increasing, now reading 16,238 feet per second. Continuing to monitor, this is Apollo Control, Houston.
Houston 12, we got the torquing angles.
Roger, we got him.
Houston, we're activating water boiler at this time.
Roger, 12.
This is Apollo Control, Houston, at 243 hours, 10 minutes now into the flight of Apollo 12. We show Apollo 12 at a distance of at a distance of 11,323 nautical miles from Earth.
That's okay.
Roger, Dick, thank you.
And we're down in the checklist at final storage.
Roger. 12, Houston, a reminder is that the camera settings for your fireball and shoots photos are not in the checklist. They only appear in the flight plan there.
All right, thank you, we got it.
12's velocity now reading 17,294 feet per second. We've been advised by recovery that the Hornet's coordinates at time of splash will be 15 degrees 44 minutes south, 165 degrees 8 minutes west. The target point for Apollo 12 reads 15 degrees 49 minutes south, 165 degrees 10 minutes west. The ship will be 5 nautical miles north and 2 nautical miles to the east of the target point, or 5.25 nautical miles straight line distance. We're now 1 hour, 10 minutes, 10 seconds away from time of entry interface, and this is Apollo Control, Houston.
12, Houston, we're ready with your state director, if you'll give us accept.
Okay, just a second. You got it.
12, Houston, the computer's yours.
Roger.
Hello, Apollo 12, Houston. The only change worth noting on your pad is the EMS range to go.
Okay, what's that?
It is now 1166.3.
Roger, copied 1166.3.
That's right.
This is Apollo Control, Houston. You heard that call up from capsule communicator Paul Weitz advising Apollo 12 their entry pad remains essentially the same as the one previously passed to them. Meanwhile, in the control center, reading our digital displays, we show a ground elapsed time for entry into the Earth's atmosphere of 244 hours, 22 minutes, 18 seconds. A ground elapsed time for begin blackout of 244 hours, 22 minutes, 37 seconds. A ground elapsed time for O5G of 244 hours, 22 minutes, 47 seconds. A ground elapsed time for into blackout, 244 hours, 25 minutes, 46 seconds. And for drogue deployment at some 23,000 feet in altitude of 244 hours, 30 minutes, 22 seconds. We're coming up now on 57 minutes from time of entry, and this is Apollo Control, Houston.
Hello, 12, Houston. Give us a right antenna on a VHF, will you please?
Roger, right antenna VHF. Okay, Houston, we go for pyro arm for command module RCS press.
Stand by. 12, Houston, your go for logic arm.
Logic 1, mark. Logic 2, mark.
12, Houston, your go for pyro arm.
Roger, go for pyro arm.
This is Apollo Control Houston at 243 hours, 28 minutes now into the flight. Apollo 12 continuing to progress down their checklist prior to entry into the Earth's atmosphere. You heard Command Module pilot Dick Gordon talking with capsule communicator Paul Weitz. For entry, Dick Gordon will be at the controls of Apollo 12. And at approximately entry interface minus 19 minutes, program 61, this is the entry preparation program, is called, and the spacecraft is pitched manually to obtain the horizon, which is checked against a window marking of some 31.7 degrees. At approximately entry interface minus 18 minutes, program 62, the pre-entry command service module separation program is called. At about minus 16 minutes for separation, Yankee Clipper yaws 45 degrees out of plane. A guillotine mechanism cuts the connecting wires and tubing between the command and service modules, and small charges set off by detonators sever the three tension ties. Separation should occur at approximately 15 minutes prior to entry into the Earth's atmosphere. After separation, the command module returns in plane. We'll stand by and continue to monitor. We now show our ground elapsed time at 243 hours, 30 minutes into the flight. Velocity continuing to increase now. We read 19,351 feet per second. In less than an hour, this velocity, however, will almost double. We show an altitude above Earth at this time of 8,372.8 nautical miles.
Up with the command module RCS check in just a minute.
Roger, 12. We're ready whenever you are.
Okay.
12, Houston, the check looked good here.
Look good up here, look good here.
This is Apollo Control Houston. What you heard there between Paul Weitz and Apollo 12. Apollo 12 command module pilot Dick Gordon is presently going through an RCS check, reaction control system check on the command module. We're at 243 hours, 32 minutes into the flight, less than 50 minutes now from time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere. We now show a velocity of 19,748 feet per second and an altitude of 7,952 nautical miles. Standing by and continuing to monitor, this is Apollo Control Houston.
Uh-oh, 12, Houston, give us Omni Charlie, please.
Go on, Omni Charlie.
This is Apollo Control Houston. We're now at 243 hours, 40 minutes into the flight of Apollo 12. Apollo 12, some 42 and a half minutes away from time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere. We presently show the Apollo 12 command and service module at a distance of 6,703 nautical miles out from Earth. Velocity continuing to increase rapidly now reading 21,013 feet per second. We reach entry interface at a ground elapsed time of 244 hours, 22 minutes, 18 seconds. We show the, in retro elapsed time, the first period of blackout beginning at 19 seconds from time of entry interface. The 12 spacecraft reaching 05G at 29 seconds from time of entry interface. The period of blackout ending at 3 minutes 28 seconds from time of entry interface. The drogue deployment at 8 minutes 4 seconds plus time from entry interface. The deployment of the main parachute system, the 3 parachutes, at 8 minutes 52 seconds from time of entry interface, and time of splash 13 minutes 49 seconds from the time we enter the Earth's atmosphere. Continuing to monitor, this is Apollo Control Houston. This is Apollo Control Houston at 243 hours 42 minutes now into the flight. Recovery has just advised Flight Director Pete Frank that all recovery aircraft are on station and functioning. To quickly run down crew composition of some of these aircraft, Air Boss, this is an E1B tracer. The pilot is Commander Van E. Spradley. Co-pilot is Lieutenant Al Pierce of Rochester, New York. Controller is Lieutenant Junior Grade Mike Meany of Portland, Oregon. And technician, aviation electricians, mate first class Angus Davis of Weider, Utah. The recovery number 1 aircraft, this is the helicopter, an SH-3D Sea King, which will carry the decontamination swimmer, will be piloted by Commander William Ott, age 36, St. Louis, Missouri. Co-pilot, Lieutenant Junior Grade Glenn Casey, age 27, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The decontamination swimmer, Lieutenant Junior Grade Ernest Lee Junkie, 26 years of age, Greenwich, Connecticut. The remaining 2 crewmen, first crewman, Chief Aviation Anti-Submarine Warfare Operator Ken Cunningham, 27, Tiff City, Missouri. Second crewman, Aviation Anti-Submarine Warfare Operator, second class, Abram Dominquist, age 33, of Tombstone, Arizona. Swim 1, this is a helicopter that is 10 nautical miles uprange from the carrier, is piloted by Lieutenant Bill Sherrod, 28. Immokalee, Florida is his home. Co-pilot, Lieutenant Junior Grade Larry Liebarger, age 27, of Anchorage, Alaska. The helicopter carries 3 swimmers who will deploy the sea anchor, or potentially can deploy the sea anchor and flotation collar. These include Lieutenant Junior Grade William C. Robertson, 27, Hampton, Virginia. Swimmer Solar Technician First Class Arliss L. Nash, age 29, Edinburgh, Pennsylvania. And photographer's mate, third class, William R. Puzzi, 22, Linwood. Yeah. Yeah. The Swim 2 helicopter, this positioned 15 nautical miles downrange, is piloted by Lieutenant Gray Linker, age 26, Mooresville, North Carolina. The 3 swimmers aboard.
Go ahead, Houston.
Just a reminder, Pete, since your steam pressure readout on the secondary system has been erratic in the re-entry phase, just double check that you're on primary.
Roger, we're on primary.
That's
The 3 swimmers on helicopter swim 2 include Lieutenant Junior Grade Johnny Winger, age 27, Argyle, Wisconsin. Electrician's mate, second class James D. Cousins, age 33, Toledo, Ohio. And hospital corpsman, second class Dennis T. Ranalla, age 23, Calistoga, Florida. We'll stand by at this time and continue to monitor. We show now that we're...
12 Houston, give us VHF left, please.
Roger, VHF left.
Correction to that last hometown. That is Calistoga, California, Vice, Florida. We show that we're 34 and a half minutes away from time of entry in the Earth's atmosphere, and this is Apollo Control, Houston.
Okay, Houston, bus ties.
Roger, 12.
Apollo Control, Houston, 243 hours, 52 minutes. That was a report from Apollo 12 indicating that the landing batteries have been turned on. We now show Apollo 12 at a distance of 4,509 nautical miles from Earth and traveling at a velocity of 23,845 feet per second. We're 29 minutes from time of entry in the Earth's atmosphere, and this is Apollo Control, Houston.
Hello, 12 Houston. I'll give you a time hack at 25 minutes, which is about 50 seconds away. And if one of you wants to turn down your S-band volume, we'll get a VHF voice check.
Okay.
Oh, Apollo 12, Houston, S-band VHF Simo, how do you read? Stand by for a mark at 25 minutes. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Less than 10 minutes away now from time of separation of the command and service modules.
Hello, 12 Houston, were you reading our VHF?
This is Charlie, yes, affirmative.
Raj. Houston, if you're talking VHF now, you're very broken and garbled, and we're not reading you yet.
Hello, here's Apollo 12, what do you hear?
Loud and clear, Dick.
Okay.
Apollo Control, Houston, at 243 hours, 59 minutes into the flight. Apollo 12 now at an altitude of 3,688 nautical miles out from Earth. Velocity now reading 25,161.5 feet per second. This is Apollo Control, Houston. Apollo Control, Houston, 244 hours into the flight now. Looking at the display which shows the onboard computer, we see Apollo 12 in program 61, which is the entry maneuver to command module, service module separation attitude. And Apollo 12 now 3,688 nautical miles away from Earth, traveling at a speed of 25,161 feet per second. Apollo Control, Houston, 244 hours, 3 minutes. The command and service module should be yawing very shortly to out of plane 45 degrees. So we'll continue to monitor. Apollo Control, Houston, we show Apollo 12 with a velocity of 25,161 feet per second. We're at 244 hours, 5 minutes into the flight. Present altitude 3,688 nautical miles. Standing by, this is Apollo Control. The guidance and control officer confirms that 12 is moving to separation attitude at this time. We're at 244 hours, 6 minutes into the flight.
and arm the pyros for SEP.
Roger, 12.
We now read spacecraft weight of 24,978 pounds. It's Apollo Control standing by for separation, less than a minute away now. Separation is confirmed by the guidance and control officer in Mission Control. We're at 244 hours.
Soon we confirm separation.
We're at 244 hours, 8 minutes now into the flight. Present altitude 3,688 nautical miles. Apollo Control Houston, the guidance and control officer confirms that Apollo 12 flying a Ring A reaction control system entry. We're at 244 hours and 9 minutes into the flight. It's Apollo Control Houston, monitoring the display showing the onboard computer. The onboard computer still in program 62. When program 63 comes up on the computer, we will try to get an over-the-shoulder look at range to go to splash and velocity rates. We'll stand by and continue to monitor that display. Apollo Control Houston, we're now reading program 63, now 64. We show a velocity.
I'll give you another hack on your DET at 10 minutes, which is about 1 minute from now.
Okay.
We show a velocity reading of 31,037 feet per second. A range to go of 4,352 nautical miles. Apollo Control Houston, Apollo 12 clipping along now. We show a velocity of 31,355 feet per second. Range to go to splash of 4,229 nautical miles.
For your mark, 3, 2, 1, mark, 10 minutes.
Roger, we're right with you.
Apollo Control Houston, about 4 minutes before entry into the Earth's atmosphere, we will lose data. However, we will retain voice communications with Apollo 12 through one of the Araya aircraft. That would be at 5 minutes before entry interface. We now show a velocity of 31,945 feet per second, a range to go of 4,014 nautical miles. The last tracking station in the Pacific to have data will be Guam. We're now at 244 hours, 14 minutes into the flight of Apollo 12. Continuing to speed in at a rapid clip, we now read 32,306 feet per second. Range to go 3,867 nautical miles. Apollo Control Houston, 244 hours, 15 minutes now into the flight. Present velocity 32,813 feet per second. Range to go 3,641 nautical miles. Less than 7 minutes now until time of entry in the Earth's atmosphere. We show a velocity of 33,190 feet per second. Range to go of 3,476 nautical miles. Guidance and control reports 12 is looking very good. Very small reaction control system usage at this time. We're at 244 hours, 16 minutes now into the flight of Apollo 12. Less than 6 minutes to go till entry now. We show a velocity reading of 33,704 feet per second. Range to go of 3,223 nautical miles. Less than 5 minutes to go until entry. We show a velocity now of 34,217 feet per second. Range to go to splash of 2,934 nautical miles. We're at 244 hours, 17 minutes now into the flight of Apollo 12. Retro fire officer confirms that we're looking good from his vantage point. We now show a velocity reading of 34,577 feet per second, a range to go to splash of 2,729 nautical miles. We've lost data with the Guam tracking station. We, however, will retain voice communications capability through an Araya aircraft. As we lost data, we read a velocity of 34,780 feet per second, and a range to go of 2,617 nautical miles.
Apollo 12, Houston, it's real right. Roger, 12.
On my mark, you'll have moon set, Houston. You can check your time. 3, 2, 1, mark, moon set.
Minutes now from time of entry. Capsule communicator Paul Weitz has communicated with 12 through the Araya aircraft via VHF. We're at 244 hours, 20 minutes now into the flight of Apollo 12. A minute and a half away now from time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Less than a minute away now from entry. The period of blackout should begin 19 seconds after we enter the Earth's atmosphere. We'll stand by and continue to monitor, and this is Apollo Control, Houston. Apollo 12 should be entering the Earth's atmosphere at this time at 400,000 feet.
Houston, coming up on blackout. We'll see you at 3:28.
Apollo 12 should have begun its blackout some 7 seconds ago. We should be in blackout for some 2.5 more minutes from this time. We now show a ground elapsed time of 244 hours, 23 minutes into the flight of Apollo 12. Copy, heading south 12. We copied the Hornet is heading south 12 knots for its terminal position for splash, which would be 5.25 nautical miles north of our target point. Apollo Control Houston, recovery reports the Hornet has radar contact on Apollo 12. We're less than 30 seconds away from the time when the blackout period should be ended. Mission Control may try to get the Yankee Clipper between the end blackout and drogue deploy, which occurs at some 23,000 feet, to get readings off of the computer display keyboard. But its current plan is not to attempt to contact the Yankee Clipper after drogues have been deployed.
12, Houston, over. Apollo 12, Houston, over.
Apollo Control Houston, a report from the Hornet indicates that radar contact showed a range of 103 nautical miles and a bearing of 261 degrees.
12, reading it loud and clear now.
Okay, it's right on the money.
Raj, we concur, Pete.
Pete Conrad says right on the money.
Over 3Gs and trying to very smooth. The first time I got a shower at 6G, thought I'd wiped all the water out of the tunnel. F4 was wondering.
Roger, 12.
Very good voice reception through Araya. Hornet advises radar contact now with a range of 69 nautical miles, 69 nautical miles. With an altitude of 121,000 feet. We're about a minute and a half away now from time of drogue deploy. This is Apollo Control, Houston. Apollo Control, Houston.
Houston, we have radar and S-band contacts on you.
Roger.
We should be getting drogue chute deployment right now. We're standing by. Al Bean reports deployment of the drogues. Less than 10 seconds away from main chute deployment. Al Bean reports 3 main chutes have deployed.
And we're at 8,000 feet on our way down in great shape.
Houston, give us your lat long, please.
Airbus, we read your lat clear, we're okay.
Roger, Apollo 12. Send your contact report, please.
Say again, over. This is recovery. Telly Ho, I have a visual.
Rick.
Recovery, over. This is recovery. I am 3 miles north on the 300 radio, 3 miles. I have a visual. He is bearing 135 from me, 6,000. I have pretty good shoot. He looks good. Clear, Roger. Up to 0, bearing.
observing. Homer, we have a visual on you. We have a visual on you. This is recovery. I've lost visual contact. He's in the ground. I'm autoing down. Kelly?
What appeared to be smoke from the spacecraft was the dumping of propellants.
This is recovery passing through 3,500. Range 4 miles on the command module. 3 shoots. Looks good. Going into another cloud. How do you read there, boss? Roger, the same. We're all okay. Roger, step. Yeah, we're great. This is recovery. Seems to be about 1,500 feet above the water. 3 good shoots. Roger. This is recovery. To contact. Flash. Alert. 3 shoots.
We record splash at ground elapsed time of 244 hours, 36 minutes, 24 seconds.
Photo, I don't see you. I'm coming all the way down. Hornet, this is recovery. We're overhead.
Apollo 12 landed stable 2. The inflation bags will upright them.
Hornet, this is Air Boss. The wire transmission that I had received from Apollo 12.
It takes about 6 to 8 minutes to upright the command module from a stable 2 position with apex up.
This is recovery. I see dive marker around the command module at this time. Good. Photo 1 coming in. We'll mark the smoke. I threw a smoke away, Kenny. All right. I'm going to go in and snag those shoots. Recovery. Say again? Hornet, this is recovery. I have a shoot on the water. I'm going to try and snag it this time while Photo gets in position to take his pictures. Where is it? This is 101 station, presently 150, 2.5 miles. Command module is stable 2 at this time. Have 3 shoots in sight. Smoke is in the water. Command module is arriving.
A preliminary estimate from the Hornet places Apollo 12 some 2.5 nautical miles from the ship. And the command module is uprighting itself at this time.
Flotation bags are being inflated. Right now they are soft. Observe one flotation bag. Clear? A recovery, Hornet. Understand you see a die marker. Is that correct? That's affirmative. I have a die marker in sight that is presently about one-half the width of the command module. Roger. Observe one flotation bag, partially correct, one inflation bag, one uprighting bag, partially inflated. Drift of the command module is approximately in the direction of 290. Wind is from 120 out of approximately 15 knots.
That report confirming Stable 1 says spacecraft is uprighted at this time.
Roger, swing 1, recovery 1, take your position. As soon as I snag this chute, we'll go into the backup position.
Hornet, Apollo 12, there, help me. We're in 4-0 shape, 4-0 shape. This is 401, the command module riding satisfactory this time to estimate 20 degrees pitch around the vertical axis. Have 3 uprighting bags fully inflated. Everything, Hornet combat, be advised Apollo 12 is on secondary, Astro secondary out. Swing 1, this is recovery. Tell me when you're in position. Roger, do you desire smoke on these chutes? No, I've got one chute snagged in the drogue at this time. As soon as you get in position, I'll go over to backup. Roger, I'm passing over chutes at this time. Okay, mark them, swim 2 can take them. Swim 1, I've got smoke on the 2 chutes. Swim 2, Roger. Swim 1 is entering position this time. Hornet, go ahead. To the Apollo 12. This is Hornet combat, we answered to Apollo 12, over. Okay, fine. The formers have radio with us yet? I can hear them talking, but apparently they can't hear me. Is that formers? That's Hornet affirmative. They have to be listening on the circuit. You're copying several of the helos, over.
All right, we're copying everybody. Apparently you're the other one copying us. We're all okay. Float bags are filled up. Stable 1 ready to have the guys come alongside.
Well, this is recovery. Swim 1, deploy your first swimmer. Come on, Rosa. Recovery, Hornet, this is their boss. I'm orbiting the scene at this time. I want to see your matter. Hornet. Oh, 12, Hornet, they're putting a first swimmer in the water now, over.
The first swimmer deployed will attach a sea anchor, an underwater parachute to stop the drift of the command module.
Roger, we're copying loud and clear. Help me. Roger, you can relay for us, and we're waiting for the first swimmer. Everybody's okay.
How do you copy recovery?
That's Dick Gordon talking from the Apollo 12 spacecraft.
Sounds bad, over.
Photo 1, recovery, do you copy? Airbus, go ahead, line combat.
Request to look for apex cover, over.
All right, you're looking.
The first swimmer into the water is photographer's mate, third class William R. Posey. Posey spelled P-O-Z-Z-I, age 22, Linwood, California.
Hello, 12, this is Hornet. Are you up on secondary? Is that correct, over?
We're up on both VHF right now.
Roger, both. We're also relaying a circuit.
Okay, we're both VHF.
Roger. We're one with a... Swim 1 has a good thumbs up from the swimmer. Roger, Swim 1, this is recovery. You're cleared to commence your run to drop the flotation collar and 2 swimmers. Come on, Hunter. This is photo 1. Sea anchor is attached. Number 1 swimmer is making his way upwind to deploy the sea anchor. This is photo 1. Sea anchor is deployed. Seems to be holding satisfactorily. Observed a positive thumbs up from the swimmer. Things are progressing normally. Swim 1 is commencing his run to deploy the flotation collar.
Swim 1 will drop the flotation collar and 2 additional swimmers.
Thumbs up from both swimmers. Working the flotation collar towards the command module. Flotation collar is at the command module. 3 swimmers in attendance.
The remaining swimmers from Swim 1
Being worked around the command module this time.
are Lieutenant Junior Grade William C. Robertson, 27, Hampton, Virginia, and Sonar Technician First Class Arles L. Nash, 29, Edinburgh, Pennsylvania.
And are attaching it to the sea anchor attachment ring.
Roger. Read. Okay, thank you.
Sir. 1, both bungees from 2/3 around the command module. All operations progressing satisfactorily.
The flotation collar is pulled out one side at a time and pulled around with bungee lines. 2 air bottles will inflate them.
Approximately 3/4 around the command module. Photo 1, swimmers appear to be experiencing no abnormal difficulties. To repeat, no abnormal difficulties. Roger. Good. Photo 1, installation progressing normally. This is Hornet. Apollo 12 is copying you this circuit. Out. Photo 1, the collar installation progressing normally. Collar is now all the way around the command module. Photo 1, the swimmers are making their final check on the collar installation prior to inflation. Photo 1, observe inflation commencing. Inflation approximately 1/3 complete. Roger, clear. Right. There, we like lower altitude. Operation. Photo 1, collar installation approximately 90% complete. Collar installation is complete. Observe the swimmer. Observe the swimmer getting the straps out for installation. Observe the swimmer making the signal for the raft. 2 swimmers are working downwind. 1 swimmer is on the flotation collar, pulling the securing straps to the tower bolt. Swim 1, hold for a moment. Okay, swim 1, you're cleared to deploy 1 raft. Says Photo 1, observe both securing straps are now in place. Swimmer is making the final adjustments on these straps. 2 swimmers are standing by approximately 30 feet downwind, standing by to receive raft number 1.
The first of 3 rafts will be deployed very shortly.
Run to deploy raft number 1. Number 1 is 8. Company drop 1. The swimmers have the is stable at this time with the installation of the flotation collar. Apollo, this is Hornet 2. I don't believe we copied the vertical axis stability. Roger. At this time, vertical axis stability is approximately 15 degrees with the exception of the passage of a crest, at which time it increases to about 25 degrees. Command module is riding in a very stable condition this time. Presently, raft number 1 is inflated and is being secured to the command module. Observe two swimmers working their way upwind, and I see the signal for the next raft being made. Two swimmers are standing by upwind, adjacent to the sea anchor for the command module.
Swim 1, recovery. You're cleared to drop your second raft 70 feet upwind.
Rumble. Swim 1 is commencing his run to deploy raft number 2. Recovery standing by in the backup position.
Good drop.
Real good drop. Raft a very good drop, about 4 feet from the swimmers.
Swim 1, come around, take the backup position. Take the fence strip.
Roger, departing harbor. Raft number 2 is now being inflated. Inflation appears to be normal.
Yankee Clipper for 10 days, a space-worthy vessel, now proving to be a seaworthy vessel. We're standing by.
This is photo 1. I observed one of the swimmers at raft number 2 deploying the sea anchor for that raft. The other swimmer has the tether line in hand and is swimming towards the command module. The swimmer from raft number 2 is approximately halfway to the command module with the tether line at this time. Back up. The swimmer is now at the command module with the tether line, is connecting it to the command module.
The tether line will be hooked to the sea anchor ring.
Sea anchor is visible for raft number 2. One swimmer is now making his way back to raft number 2. Presently have one swimmer seated on the flotation collar. And two swimmers now at raft number 2. I observe a thumbs up from raft number 2 swimmer. good condition in the water. Two Hornet, correction. Swim 2 Hornet, over.
And Hornet, this is recovery.
Roger, Swim 2 have one or more parachutes hooked, over.
This is recovery. I have one parachute hooked just to the left of the smoke light, just east of the smoke light. It's in the water. Hooked in the drogue.
This is photo 1. The decon swimmer is now at raft number 2. Simply have one swimmer at the command module. Have 3 swimmers at raft number 2 and observe the signal indicating he is ready to receive decontamination equipment.
The last swimmer in was a decontamination swimmer, Lieutenant Junior Grade Ernest Lee Janke. Lieutenant Janke is 26 years old from Greenwich, Connecticut.
Photo 1, the situation remains stable at this time. 3 swimmers upwind. Have 1 swimmer at the command module.
Recovery. Preparation for decontamination equipment.
This is photo 1. All operations normal at this time. 2 swimmers seated in the raft. 1 in the water, tending the raft sea anchor. 1 at the command module. Photo 1, the command module is riding in a very stable condition. Approximately 15 degrees about the vertical axis.
At a given point, the Apollo 12 crew will open the hatch and receive flight coveralls and face masks from the decontamination swimmer who will be standing on the flotation collar. The decontamination swimmer again is Lieutenant Janke.
Of the metallic covering been burned away from the command module on the back side. The area around the access hatch is still very gold in color. Photo 1, the 3 uprighting bags are still fully inflated.
Swim 2, recovery. Make your passage upwind further away, please.
I have his receive. I broke down my transmitter. Sydney, leader. Position. Recovery Hornet. Recovery Hornet, combat. Reading you, combat. Roger, request you keep the chute marked with smoke, over.
Swim 2, mark the sea anchor next to the smoke light with another smoke.
Photo 1, recovery is in position. Rescue net is being lowered. equipment aboard. Rescue net is approximately 2/3 down. Recovery is maneuvering. Place the rescue net in the raft. Have the rescue net in hand. It is in raft number 2 at this time. Observe the swimmers working, removing the equipment from the rescue net. Operations normal at this time. Net is on its way up. Observe all 3 swimmers in raft number 2 and working with their equipment. Still holding firmly. Swimmer at the command module has re-entered the water. Hornet, come up, Dutch 10, over. Air 5, switching Dutch 10. Photo 1, all operations progressing normally. Observe the swimmers in the raft putting on their equipment. Observe the swimmer at the command module bringing raft number 2 in towards the command module, working the tether line hand over hand. Raft number 2 is approximately halfway into the command module. One swimmer has moved upwind. Number 2 raft sea anchor, apparently to spill the sea anchor and facilitate moving raft number 2 in. Approximately 10 feet to go. Number 2 raft is at the command module. The swimmer is moving equipment from raft number 2 to raft number 1 and has now moved over to raft number 1. Photo 1, all swimmers in good condition. All are at the command module at this time, or in the vicinity. One swimmer now has moved the decontaminant dispenser onto the flotation collar. Now standing on the flotation collar in the vicinity of the crew access hatch. One of the UDT swimmers is looking inside the crew access hatch. Everything appears to be satisfactory. Hornet, over. M2 Hornet.
Hornet, this is recovery. Go ahead.
Roger, I'm trying to determine if there were 3 chutes sighted and if they're still in the vicinity of the one that's hooked over.
Okay, this is recovery. We sighted 3 chutes. We snagged the drogue on one of them and embedded the sea anchor, correction, the grappling hook. We supplied one-man raft with that chute. Could not catch the other 2 rafts, correction, the other 2 parachutes at that particular time, so they sunk. They were all pretty in the immediate vicinity of the command module when the command module contacted the water.
This is photo. The crew access hatch has been opened. The bag has been passed inside to the astronauts. And the crew access hatch is closed once more. Recovery of Apollo 12.
Recovery, go.
Roger, we're going off the radios now to put on our gear.
Photo back down.
This photo, at present, one of the swimmers is observing through the crew access hatch. Everything appears to be going normally. Hornet, I think I have the information on the chute's conditions. Run to Roger. Photo 1, access hatch was opened at time 3, 6, and 5 seconds. number 1. One swimmer at raft number 2. And one swimmer standing on the flotation collar. This is photo 1. The swimmer apparently had no difficulty, repeat, no difficulty in opening the crew access hatch. Securing it once again. The swimmer on the flotation collar is observing the action inside the command module through the crew access hatch window.
Hornet reports spacecraft now 900 yards upwind of spacecraft, of the Hornet. The Hornet now 900 yards upwind of the Yankee Clipper.
Photo 1. One go. Your rotor was up a little high. Right. Good. Photo 1, all operations normal. This is photo 1. The swimmer on the flotation collar is making frequent checks. They're opening the door now. The hatch is opening. The first astronaut is coming.
First astronaut coming out now of the command module.
Second astronaut is on his way out and in the raft. Safely in raft number 1.
All three astronauts now on the raft.
All operations normal at this time. Astronaut egress from the command module, Conrad, Garden, and the crew access hatch is now closed and is being secured by the swimmer.
Conrad, Gordon, and Bean was the exit order from the spacecraft.
The astronaut and the swimmer are still checking the crew access hatch. Appears to be some slight difficulty in closing the hatch. They're working on it. Now the second astronaut, rotor 1. Rotor, go ahead. One astronaut, one swimmer, with the crew access hatch at this time. Two astronauts. This hatch is now securely closed. Observe the swimmer closing it with his tool. All 3 astronauts now in raft number 1.
The hatch is secured and all 3 astronauts now in raft 1. Recovery 1 helicopter will move in shortly.
Resting comfortably in raft number 1. I observe the swimmer making the signal for the first pickup.
The pickups will be made with a recovery net or so-called Billy Q net, which
In good condition. Okay, photo move to the right just a little bit. Recovery starting run 1. Thank you.
the Billy Q net
They're satisfactory at this time. Situation is normal. Recovery is commencing his run for his first pickup.
the recovery net or Billy Q net looks much like a hanging chair. Its center of gravity is toward the back and has the effect of scooping up Earth.
Man is about 6 down. The rescue net is 2/3 down. Recovery is maneuvering to put the rescue net in the raft. Rescue net is in the raft. This astronaut is on his way up. Good vertical pickup. No oscillation. First astronaut is halfway up. Unit is approximately 3/4 up. And the rescue net is at the cargo hatch. Astronaut is safely aboard. This is recovery. The first astronaut aboard is Commander Gordon. Condition is good.
We repeat that last report. The first astronaut aboard is Commander Gordon. Condition good.
Standing by for pickup number 2. Number 2. Photo 1, the rescue net is halfway down. Recovery is maneuvering for his second pickup. Safety swimmers are still in the water. Operations normal. net is in the raft. So is given, the second astronaut is on his way up. A little oscillation. Second astronaut is halfway up. Is at the cargo hatch, entering fixer.
Recovery, second astronaut aboard, Commander Bean. Condition good.
We repeat that last report. The second astronaut aboard, Commander Alan Bean.
In preparation for the third pickup. Observe recovery, commencing his run. All operations normal as time. The rescue net is 2/3 down. Recovery is maneuvering to place the net in the raft. Net is in hand, is being lowered into the raft. Third astronaut is on his way up. Third astronaut is halfway up. Astronaut 2/3 up. Is at the cargo hatch, being taken aboard the helicopter.
The Apollo 12 crew now aboard Rescue Helicopter 1.
Move across, take your picture. Swim 2, join recovery.
Swim 2.
We'll use a standard racetrack.
Recovery Hornet is the third astronaut in good condition, over.
recovery. All 3 astronauts are aboard. Condition is outstanding to above average.
Hornet, roger. Hornet, Plan 1, does the bridge desire time marker deployment? Hornet, say again, over. Roger, does the bridge desire time marker deployment? Hornet, went up. Hornet combat, over. This is Bo on, go ahead. Roger, affirmative, we would like time marker deployment at scene, over. Plan 1, roger. Photo 1, observe the astronauts in good condition. This is Tower. Confirm that your main crew hatch is closed.
It'll be closed when we land.
You have a Charlie spot 5 and photo. You have a Charlie on spot 9 for a relaunch. Photo 1. The bounty marker has been dropped to the swimmers in the raft. Down the bow at 18 knots.
coming up, I believe, this weekend. Chief James Fox, the band leader, looked all through his repertory to find a song that contained the word Yankee in honor of the Yankee Clipper, and this was the only one he could come up with, but it seemed singularly appropriate. Is correspondent Peter Hackes. Peter? The aircraft has been lowered to the hangar deck and is being wheeled now forward and turned around. It will be pushed back some 200 feet, I would estimate, alongside the quarantine trailer. And then the astronauts will exit, and we will get a better look at them as they step some 35 to 40 feet to enter the trailer. They will, of course, be wearing their respirators, and we won't see all of their features, but we should be able to tell who they are, of course. We can see someone now.
You can see the astronauts inside the helicopter, which is at the moment being towed into position next to the mobile quarantine facility, this trailer-like object on the hangar deck in which they'll be spending at least the next 5 days before they get to Houston. A number of VIPs, officials, have gathered here. We'll be telling you about them in a moment. There you see the helicopter now being backed into position very slowly on the hangar deck, which is one deck below the flight deck. The astronauts still inside. The quarantine rules being observed. A number of NASA officials walking along with the helicopter, which is being pushed into position. Now you see the plastic entryway, which is rigged up just outside the mobile quarantine facility. This has nothing to do, actually, with the arrival of the astronauts. This is an anticipation of the arrival of the spacecraft, which will be hooked up to it, here again, to preserve the quarantine integrity. Helicopter 66 being rolled into position. In a moment, the astronauts will be out and on deck. Some NASA people will move over a small wooden step. And here you see that step now being moved into place by John Stonecipher on the right, Fred Sponholz on the left of the NASA recovery team. The three astronauts now coming forward, and with their respirators on, I'll be darned if I can tell which is who. The three astronauts now walking briefly across the hangar deck and into the facility, there to be locked up again. There's the doctor, Dr. Jernigan, and Randy Stone, the technician, inside. And they will remain now in quarantine for another 18 days, which is the full 3 weeks. They count the 3-day trip back from the moon as part of that quarantine. the helicopter number 66 being rolled away from that spot, it will be taken back to the flight deck, where it too will be decontaminated. It will be filled with formaldehyde gas, and that presumably will be the end of all moon bugs, if there are any in there. Now you see a picture of the outside door in which the astronauts...
This is Mission Control in Houston, Texas. I expect watching television screens, observing the recovery operations, and they've just seen the astronauts disappear inside their own little home, where they'll be spending the next several days. And these are the Marine Guards posted outside the mobile quarantine facility. The clumsy name they've given for that device that the men will be living in the next few days. And it has a window at the rear with a curtain over it at the moment. I suspect they'll draw those curtains in a little while, and we'll get a chance to see them without the face masks. In any event, we will be back in just a moment. Now here is a word from Go.
This is finished. He will have to wait 30 minutes. That's how long it takes for the glutaraldehyde to take effect. It's a routine procedure. They did it last time. It is just one extra precaution to ensure the safety, actually, of the people here on Earth. And now, just moving over toward me, is the crew of Helicopter 66. They have finished their part of the journey, and now we'd like to talk to all of them. Commander Ott, come in closer, gentlemen. Lieutenant Junior Grade Casey, and Chief Cunningham. You did a good job today. How did it feel out there?
Thank you, Peter. It was a real fine day. Everything went outstanding to above average, just as we'd been training for.
Did you have a little problem out there, Commander, with the wind?
Initially, it had been a little more severe than we were anticipating, but it took just a few moments, and everything was figured out and came off real well.
Commander Casey, on the way down, that is to say, when the spacecraft was coming down, did you have any trouble locating it electronically?
None whatsoever. Our crewmen got the Sarah signal, and about that time, about the same time, we received or got a visual sighting on the capsule itself and homed in on it from there.
What did it look like coming down? You were in the air. We were here on the sea. What did it look like coming down to you? Was it very clear?
Yes, it was quite clear. You could see the red and white streamers and the parachutes themselves. And they billowed out. Oh, it was quite large, and you could barely see the command module below the canopies themselves. It was real beautiful there above the clouds. It was real nice sight.
Chief Cunningham, you played an important role in this whole operation. You were the one who kept things right over the top, so to speak, with this hover trim. Did you have any trouble with that, getting the net down today in that wind?
Well, initially we had to take it very slow to account for a little bit more wind than we had anticipated, but after it was compensated for, there was no problem. Everything worked as advertised.
Well, now, you're the first person that we've talked to that has seen the astronauts close up. These two gentlemen were up in their seats as pilots. What did they look like, and what did they say, if anything?
Well, we couldn't hear them with the decontamination equipment on, but they all seemed to be in great spirits. They're a great bunch of people.
What does the spacecraft look like close up? Is it pretty well charred?
No, we didn't see that much charring. There is a tremendous amount of the metal foil stripped off of the back side. That is, that side away from the hatch where the astronauts came out. It is a gold color, of course, as you may have witnessed yourself. Shiny on one side and rather dull on the other, but it doesn't look burned. It has been stripped, though.
Were those astronauts really taking kind of pounding back and forth? Is the sea that rough?
No, sir. Surprisingly so. As the astronauts got out, they were quite ginger. Did not appear to be taking a beating at all. In fact, one of the astronauts went back and helped the decom swimmer close the hatch.
Commander Conrad, Commander Gordon, and the...
Stand by, please. Up. Mr. President, when you're ready, sir, yes, up ready. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hello. Commander?
Commander Conrad here.
Are you all three on?
Yes, sir. We're all on the phone.
Well, I'm just delighted to have this opportunity to welcome you back, and I only wish that I could be out there for the splashdown. I can assure you that millions here in the United States and around the world were watching, and I am just tremendously proud, personally, and speaking also representing the American people, of what you've done. As you know, before you took off, we talked on the phone that night, and I invited you and your wives to come to the White House for dinner, and I just want to be sure you can make that date.
Yes, sir. We'll be there.
Fine. Well, we'll expect to see you after you get out of quarantine. And now there's one other thing I think I should tell you, that I've noticed that you've been responsible for several firsts. You weren't the first on the moon, but you were I think, Commander Conrad, you were the first to sing from the moon, right? And
I guess so, sir.
That's right. And it was we had the first moon quake as a result of your flight, and the first press conference from outer space. Now, after all of those firsts, I think that the nation wants some recognition, and I've been trying to think of what would be the best way to recognize you. And over these past 10 days, I've noticed that Walter Cronkite and the other commentators are always referring to you as Commander Conrad, and Commander Gordon, and Commander Bean. And I, exercising my prerogative as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, have decided that you should be promoted, and that from this day forth you shall be Captain Conrad and Captain Gordon and Captain Bean. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
We look forward to seeing you.
Yes, sir. We're looking forward to being there. Thank you very much, sir.
Hello, Hornet MQF. Hornet MQF, this is Crown.
Crown is Hornet MQF. Go ahead.
Roger, would you stand by for Dr. Payne, please? We'd like to speak with the astronaut.
Roger. This is Hornet MQF standing by.
Roger, putting him up now. Hornet MQF, this is Crown, Dr. Payne on. Give him a call, over.
Sir, Commander Conrad on. And Commander Gordon.
Right. Pete?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Just fine, sir.
Hey, you look real good.
Well, everybody's in good shape. Al got whacked with the camera when we hit down, but otherwise everybody's just fine.
Dr. Payne, we're supposed to be in good shape. We just came off a 10 days vacation. Well, you know, they got the new motto now, fly with NASA, we get you there and get you back on time.
That's correct. We go in any kind of weather or anywhere.
Hey, we were all real pleased about your promotions. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir.
That's a wonderful thing for the President to do.
Yes, sir.
I won't hang on the line now because I know you want to talk to your families, but I certainly want to I want to send the appreciations of all of us here in NASA for the tremendous job that you did for all of us. And the scientists are extremely excited about the results that are coming back. They're looking forward to getting at that 90 pounds of samples you brought, and every one of us is just tickled to death with that magnificent job you did. So thanks a lot, fellas.
Well, we enjoyed it, sir. It was our pleasure.
Yeah, we sure. Thank you, Dr. Payne. We sure did. We were proud to represent the country on the moon, believe me. Fine. Well, I look forward to seeing you out in Houston in a few days. Have a good Thanksgiving. Good night. Thank you, sir. The MQF. Right-o. Good night.
Houston, that's beautiful. This has got to be one of the most proud moments of my life, I guarantee you.